Hey everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jeremy and I'm the author of the Conversion Protocol series. This story releases 3 times a week on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Just a quick note, each video is only one chapter long so you can easily keep up with the story and never have to wait too long for the next part. Alright, let's dive in. Chapter 1, The Message. The rain in San Antonio didn't fall clean anymore. It came down greasy, carrying the chemical bite of the big vertical farms south of the city and the faint ozone tang from the mod clinics that never seemed to close. I shook it off my coat as I climbed the stairs to my office, boots leaving wet prints on the cracked linoleum. Another 12-hour tale on a cheating executive who traded his wedding ring for a set of sleek feline mods and the delusion that he was suddenly irresistible. Waste of time, waste of money, same as always. I keyed in the code and opened the door, and then I stopped dead. The message was waiting for me on the far wall, right behind my desk. Letters about a foot tall, shimmering like oil on water. Colors sliding through deep crimson, electric blue, and burnished gold. They didn't glow, but they shifted, slow and deliberate, as if the wall itself was breathing them out. When power converts to power, the truth is revealed. I stood there with the rain dripping from my coat onto the floor, staring. I'd seen gang tags, corporate threats, even the occasional religious nut painting scripture in blood. I'd never seen anything like this. I stepped closer. The letters stayed sharp even when I was inches away. No projector lines, no residue when I ran my fingers across them. The paint, if it was paint, felt cool, almost cold, and the moment I pulled my hand back, the colors kept flowing like nothing had touched them. Kids, I muttered. Or some new mod prank tech. But the words didn't feel like kids. They felt like they were looking back at me. I shrugged off my coat, hung it on the rack, and poured 2 fingers of cheap bourbon into a glass. The first sip burned the way it always did. Honest. The second sip reminded me why I kept the bottle in the drawer. I sat down, boots on the desk, and stared at the message some more. It hadn't changed. If anything, the colors seemed deeper now. A knock came at the door. Sharp, urgent, 3 quick raps like the person on the other side was trying not to fall apart. I didn't move right away. Late-night knocks on a PI's door were rarely good news. Usually it was a spouse who'd finally worked up the courage, or someone who'd lost something valuable and didn't want the cops involved. Sometimes it was trouble with teeth. The knock came again, harder this time. "Yeah, hold on," I called. I dropped my boots to the floor, walked over, and opened the door with my right hand near the pistol on my hip. The woman standing in the hallway looked like she'd been dragged through hell and hadn't quite made it back. Mid-30s, maybe. Dark hair pulled into a messy ponytail, eyes red and swollen. Her clothes were clean but wrinkled, like she'd thrown them on hours ago and forgotten about them. She clutched a cheap purse like it was a life raft. "Blake Elliott?" Her voice cracked. "That's me." "My name is Anita Hart. Detective Ramirez said... He said you might be able to help me. He gave me your address." Ramirez. Old mutual friend. One of the few guys still on the force who hadn't drunk the mod Kool-Aid or gotten forced out. If he sent her, it was serious. I stepped aside. "Come in." She walked in like the floor might bite her. Her eyes immediately went to the message on the wall. The colors shifted again, slower this time, almost thoughtful. What? What is that? She whispered. Bad graffiti, I said, closing the door. Have a seat. She didn't sit. She just stood in the middle of the room, arms wrapped around herself. My son, she started, then stopped. Swallowed hard. Damien. He's 10. We were at home. I was making dinner. He was in the backyard playing like he always does. Then this man came over the fence. I leaned against my desk and waited. People need to tell their stories in their own way. He grabbed Damien, slipped something over his head, a necklace, a pendant, I don't know. And then Damien started screaming. Her voice broke completely on the last word. It wasn't a normal scream, Mr. Elliot. It sounded like his body was breaking from the inside. I ran outside and I saw his bones moving under his skin, his muscles tearing and growing back bigger. He kept getting larger and larger, and his scream turned into this howl. She was shaking now. When it stopped, he wasn't my little boy anymore. He was a wolf, bigger than my car. Black fur, huge teeth, yellow eyes. He looked at me for just a second, and then he ran. He crashed through my back fence and disappeared into the dark. Silence filled the office. The color-shifting letters kept slowly cycling behind me. I took a slow breath. Ma'am. Mrs. Hart. Anita, she said. Anita. I've seen a lot of things in this city. Mods doing wild stuff, street drugs that mess people up bad. But what you're describing, I know how it sounds, she cut in, desperation thick in her voice. The police laughed me off the phone. They said I was hysterical, that I needed to stop wasting their time. But Detective Ramirez listened. He believes me, or at least he believes something happened. He told me you're the only one who might take a case like this. I rubbed the bridge of my nose. A giant wolf boy. Sure. Right after I got some impossible glowing graffiti in my office. Hell of a night. Still. Ramirez didn't send people to me lightly. And there was something about the way Anita Hart was looking at me. Like she'd already lost everything and was just waiting for the last piece to fall. I glanced back at the message on the wall. The letters had settled into a deep, bloody crimson. When power converts to power, the truth is revealed, I read quietly. Anita followed my gaze. What does it mean? I have no idea. I looked at her again, tired eyes, a mother who'd watched something impossible happen to her child. Whether she was crazy, lying, or telling the truth, she needed help. I walked over to the coat rack and pulled my still damp coat back on. All right, Anita, I'll take the case. Show me where it happened. She let out a sound that was half sob, half relief. As we stepped out into the rainy San Antonio night and headed for her car, I couldn't shake the feeling that whatever was waiting for us in that suburban backyard was going to be a lot worse than even she remembered. And somewhere behind us, in my dark office, those impossible letters kept shifting colors, waiting patiently in the silence. That's the end of Chapter 1. If you want to find out what Blake discovers in that backyard, make sure you're subscribed. New chapters drop Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Drop a comment and let me know what you think is really going on. Until next time, stay sharp out there.